The story begins with a teacher from Ichikawa High School who was distributing the results of a test to the children of the class. Among these children, there was a girl named Asuka who was very weak in studies, although this test was the easiest test till date, but Asuka, she got 0 in this too. Well, her boyfriend Yoshi told her to cheer up that 0 is her lucky number, but then her teacher scolded her and said that if Asuka does not start studying now, she will not be able to do anything in life. After this, in the next period, she had a history test due to which Asuka was already scared. In the first question, she had to tell the name of the famous temple in which all the wishes are fulfilled by inserting a coin. Asuka did not know the answer, but she decided to leave it blank. As soon as she wrote the answer, a tremendous light appeared outside the window. Then a forest-like part suddenly appeared in a part of the city. Well, the next day when Asuka and Yash were going to school, this forest path appeared. He thought that till yesterday there was no such path here, so he himself decided to go inside and see. After walking for some time, he found a temple on which the name of this place was written, but he could not read this name. Well, without thinking, Asuka threw a coin in it and made a wish that I get 100 marks in every test. After this, both of them returned to school comfortably. When Asuka got the result of the last test, she saw that she got 100 marks in it. When she got 5 marks, she started thinking that there was no use in making wishes. Well, later she had a test on world politics. In the first question, she had to tell the name of the Prime Minister of Japan. Asuka had no idea who the Prime Minister was. That's why she simply wrote the name of her boyfriend Yoshida. After this, but could not answer any question, so she slept quietly. Later, after school, both Asuka and Yoshida went to Asuka's house. As soon as they both entered inside Asuka, there was an argument going on between the parents. Asuka's father was a salesman whose job was in danger, and her mother was having an affair with another man. Asuka told Yoshida not to pay attention to them. They keep fighting like this, and then brought her to her room. Then Yoshida saw that there were empty plates and bowls lying outside one of the rooms. Actually, Asuka also had a twin brother named Keisu. Keisu was very good in studies and he passed every test. He used to get 100 marks in I, but one day he failed in his high school entrance exam. A smart child like Keisu could not bear such a big shock, and from that day he locked himself in his room and did not talk to anyone. Asuka became a little sad while telling the story to Yoshida and just kept playing video games on his computer, so Yoshida went to buy some food for her from the market, while on the other hand their teacher was checking the test when suddenly he saw the mysterious temple shining. After some time, Asuka called Yoshida and asked where he was. Then Yoshida said that he was very busy and would not be able to meet her today. After the call was disconnected, Asuka's message comes from a friend that Yoshida is in big trouble. Then it is revealed that Yoshida had actually become the Prime Minister of Japan, and he was also giving many interviews. The next day when Asuka went to school, she realized that she was not able to understand that her boyfriend had gone to the market. So how did he suddenly become the Prime Minister? And later the news came that the Prime Ministers of many countries had also gone missing. Then the teacher came to the class and told everyone the results of yesterday's test. Asuka, he saw that all his tests were blank, yet he had got 100 marks out of 100. Then he realized that in his test he had written the name of Yoshida instead of Prime Minister, and perhaps that is why he became the Prime Minister and also the Prime Ministers of other countries. He went missing because he had left all the other places empty. After all, the wish he had made from that temple was now being fulfilled. Now to give him full marks in the test, the world will change according to his answer. Well, to correct his mistake, what will change if Asuka writes wrong in Google's test? Then after school, Yoshida comes to meet Asuka and tells her that he has been fired from the post of Prime Minister. Then Asuka calms him down and talks about her new life. But Yoshi couldn't believe that whatever was happening happened because of Asuka. So he asked Asuka to prove it by writing something on paper, but before that, suddenly the tower built in the middle of the city started falling on its own. Actually, all this was happening because of Asuka giving wrong answers in the math test. Now Asuka and Yoshida ran to the teacher's room and corrected all the answers of her test so that the tower was once again the same as before. It happened, but scientists all over the country were surprised as to how all this was happening. Well, while returning home from school, Asuka and Yoshida again reached the same mysterious temple path, but now everything had disappeared from there. They did not even know the name of the temple. I didn't remember it, that's why it was difficult to find it. Now Asuka will have to work hard to give correct answers in every test. Now there should be no other problem in the world. Asuka decided to work very hard, and she thought that she would sit and study all night long. But within a few minutes she fell asleep and sold the horses and went to sleep. After this we see that Asuka and Yoshida were waiting outside the teacher's room for their test paper to be checked. Like before, this time also Asuka got 100. She got 100 out of 100 marks and started praying that this time nothing would go wrong in the world. Well, when she returned home, she saw that her father was very happy because she had made the biggest sale of her life. Actually, Asuka had passed the test. It was written that the most precious commodity in the world is the water of arrow. That is why many people started buying arrow, due to which her father got a lot of profit. Asuka was also happy to see her father happy, and she thought that everything is like this. Let it go. But later she saw on TV that there was a fierce fight for water all over the world. Now things had gone out of hand, so Asuka immediately changed the answer in her test sheet and everything became as before. His mind lit up and he thought of solving his parents' fight through this power. The next day when he was asked in the test which astronaut was going to go to space, he wrote the name of his mother's new boyfriend. That's why. That man broke up with Asuka's mother and the next day he went to space. After the breakup, her mother started giving time to her family and their life became happy again. Now Asuka had to help her brother Katsuki. That's why in his next test, he wrote that his brother Katsuki would come out of his room and say good morning to everyone. But this plan failed before it could be completed because before Katsuki could come out, his father forcefully entered Katsuki's room. They went and asked her to come out. This led to a huge argument between them, and during the conversation it was revealed that Asuka's father was going to be fired from the job again and her mother had again started talking to someone else. Then Asuka realized that by using her powers, the condition of the house could be improved for some time, but it would not last forever. Then she herself thought of helping her brother by talking to him, but he was not responding. That's why Asuka sat outside his room and started preparing vigorously for the test. Keshu was very smart, and whenever Asuka made any mistake, he was told from within to correct it, but still he did not do anything for many days. And then one day when Asuka gave up even a very easy maths problem, finally Keisu spoke up and he taught Asuka to solve that maths problem. Now even though Keisu used to talk behind closed doors, he used to talk to her, and with her help, Asuka also started studying diligently. Then within a few days, her father himself started reading the salesman's books and tried to improve his work. Meanwhile, her mother also deleted the numbers of all her boyfriends and started focusing on her family. Well, after a week, Asuka scored 100 out of 100 in the test without any help. She ran to tell this good news to Keisu, but he still did not open the door. Then the next morning when everyone in the house was having dinner, Keisu suddenly came out of his room and stood in front of them. He apologized to his father and promised to study harder and more diligently. Seeing this, a wave of happiness ran through his entire family. Then one day when Asuka and while they were going to school, Asuka found the same earlier test paper in her bag. She had got only 5 marks, that is why she tore the paper. But as soon as she folded the paper again, suddenly the same forest path was formed at the same place. Then she realized that he had written in this test about the temple that fulfilled his vow. Because of his answer, a new temple had been built here. Now Yoshida and Asuka once again went to the temple and took a vow that everything Asuka said was true, so that everything becomes as before. She waited for a while, but that temple was still there. After this, the teacher in school again gave her a test in which there were questions about geography and world population. Then suddenly Asuka remembered that the wish is fulfilled only by inserting the coin in that temple. That is, to restore everything as before, she has to take out the coin back. She quickly completed the test and went to take out the coin from the temple, but that coin was locked in a box. Asuka took out the coin with a wooden stick. On the other hand, Keisu and his parents were discussing about his future. He was very eager to make a new beginning in life. His mother also troubled everyone. On the other hand, Asuka's teacher was checking her test paper, and as usual she got 100 marks, but then suddenly Asuka dropped the coin again and amazing light came out of the coin. Within a few moments, we see that there was no one outside the temple, but the entire city, country, and even the entire world had become empty, as if all humans had disappeared in one stroke. Finally, we see that Asuka is the last person in the test. The question was that what is the population of the world? Asuka left that place empty, due to which the people of the whole world disappeared. If you get this power, then what will you write in the test? Write that thing in the comments and tell us. See you next in the video.